Hello. The founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, entered into a controversy with the co-founders of the Solana project, who criticized Cardano for being too cautious and slow in development. Recently, a Twitter user tagged Charles Hoskinson in a podcast tweet uploaded about 10 months ago. It was attended by Solana-S co-founders Anatoly Yakovenko and Raj Gokal, who criticized Cardano developers for being slow. The hosts asked them to list the blockchains in order of priority, and Yakovenko named Cardano penultimate, joking that it's fashionable now to talk nasty things about Cardano. In response, Hoskinson wrote them the following: "The main criticism of Cardano is that developers carefully write software when billions of dollars are at stake from millions of users, and thousands of organizations rely on infrastructure as a source of income. Then it's time for these guys to build a hospital," wrote Hoskinson. There is some irony in the fact that 10 months later, users remembered this podcast, since Solana's network has been disconnected several times during this year. More recently, Solana experienced a failure again. Block production on the network stopped for 6 hours. Hoskinson reminded the Solana-S co-founders of this situation. He posted a video link for them showing how to fix old game consoles and joked that it might help them. One user asked Hoskinson if he thinks being too arrogant can play a trick on him, as happened with Duquan and his Terra project. Hoskinson replied that nothing in the world is absolutely safe. However, Cardano was ruthlessly ridiculed by Solana supporters and investors in Luna for trying to do things right, using independent evaluation and formal methods to avoid such problems. A few days ago, Hoskinson said that projects that grow too quickly are doomed to failure, and collapse of Terra can be considered as a telling example of the collapse of the system after a sharp peak. And a new bill has entered the lower house of the U.S. Congress, which proposes to oblige congressmen to disclose information about investments in digital assets. The new document, called the Cryptocurrency Accounting Act, proposes to amend a 1978 law that requires government officials to disclose their financial and work history, as well as the activities of immediate family members. The law was passed after the Watergate scandal. A new bill drafted by Alyssa Stotkin and Dusty Johnson proposes adding a section to the 1978 law to disclose information about investments in cryptocurrencies. The bill proposes to oblige members of Congress to disclose the dates and amounts of investments in cryptocurrencies, as well as the composition and volume of long-term investments in digital assets in excess of $1,000. Spouses and minor children of congressmen will have to provide similar information. Penalties are also provided. If the official does not submit the relevant information, he may receive a fine of $500 or 5% of the investment amount. In case of data falsification, the fine can be up to $66,000 or the same 5% of the investment amount. Americans deserve to know that their elected leaders take the public interest into account and don't try to make a quick buck out of office. My bill will improve transparency and help stop corruption that undermines the credibility of our government, Stotkin said in a tweet.